50, 45. There goes Davis. Oh, my God. Davis is going to run it all the way back. Auburn's going to win the football game. Auburn's going to win the football game. He ran the missed field goal back. He ran it back 109 yards. They're not going to keep him off the field tonight. Holy cow. Oh, my God. Auburn wins. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl. Auburn has won the Iron Bowl in the most unbelievable fashion you will ever see.
Oh, welcome in, everybody, to a very special episode 300 of The Dream Wager. And all of them, I think maybe you missed, 4 or 5, if that. My main man, our NBA guru, Elvis Acosta. Elvis, welcome to episode 300. I'd be lying if I said I'm shocked that we made it to 300. How you feeling today?
Dude, I'm feeling great, dude. The fact that we were able to accomplish a small goal and hitting 300 episodes, dude, is just thank you, my brother. You know,
yeah.
The fact that we was able to do this for, almost 3 years now. Two solid years, yeah. Dude, it's special. The fact that we got episode 300. Shout out Chief Keef. You know, it's just something special. So let's go, Dill.
100%. Yeah, I wouldn't ask to do any better. I asked it for you about 2.5 years ago for you to do the show with me, and man, it's been incredible. Like, you know, setting little goals, and we were like, are we even gonna have any guests? We've interviewed over 35 people now. It's been a hell of a ride. So couldn't ask for anybody better. And here's to 300 more, kid. Let's do another 300. But we got a great show for everyone today. We'll recap the weekend. A little news broke. We'll talk about some cuts. All the NFL teams are making their final roster slots. We got 14 games on the diamond. And then we finally reached our last NBA two-a-days, the NFC West between the Rams and the Seahawks today. And then the 49ers and Cardinals we will discuss this weekend. But Elvis, real quick, we wanted to shout out the United States. They beat Curacao yesterday. Carl Ravish, he did the jinx on the call. He said, Curacao has never allowed a home run this Little League World Series. Next pitch, walk-off home run. Wow. Here comes the United States. I think the kids, that was probably the best moment of the kid's life. Would you agree?
It's going to be hard to top that moment just because, like as a kid, maybe as an adult, he's going to have bigger goals. But as a kid, what was a bigger moment than hitting the walk-off home run at the Little League World Series? Like, as a kid, that's top of the notch, So,
yeah.
Like, maybe, as an adult, maybe it, hits another goal like that. But as a kid, I don't see much, a bigger goal to accomplish as a, 12-year-old, 13-year-old kid.
100%. Like, it's insane because, it literally starts at that young age. Everyone wants to be a professional athlete, and these are literally what dreams are made of. And I hate cliches, but it's literally that. California came out to a 2-0 lead. They were up 4-1. They were up actually 5-1 going into the 5th inning, only 2 innings left. Guy hits a grand slam for Curacao. They tie it up, and then the walk-off in the 6th. I mean, it was just a back-and-forth effort. The two best teams were there. And just shout out California, man. I thought it was really good. And yeah, hey, we got Joe in the chat. Let's fucking go, boys. Congrats. Appreciate it, brother. Yeah, we just talked about it. But yeah, other than that, I wanted to ask, we talked a little offline about the comments made by USA track and field athlete Noah Lyles. One, we all heard it's gone viral. What are your thoughts on it? Because to me, I think it kind of comes off as ignorant because I get what he's trying to say. It kind of went off the wrong way.
Dill, all right, did he say a lie? No, but dude, he's just said some bullshit. Yes, in the NBA, they don't play against other countries to win their quote unquote national championship or championship. Yes, that's a fact. But bro, you're not telling me the NBA is not a international sport. You got over 100 players in the NBA. The last 3 MVPs, Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic, Giannis Antetokounmpo. That's 5 years straight. I'm sorry, I butchered it a little bit. 5 years straight. A non-American has won the best NBA player award, most valuable player.
Yeah.
All international. James Harden last one in 2018. How's it not an international sport where the most valuable player of the last 5 seasons has went to a non-American? Like, yes, yes, they're not, raising the U.S. flag. They hanging a championship banner. The Denver Nuggets, championship banner. I understand. They're not hanging a American flag up. I understand that. But, bro, you see Nikola Jokic. You see Joel Embiid. You see Giannis. It's an international sport, bro. Luka Doncic might be, top one of the best young players right now.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense, Elvis. I don't know what he was thinking. Like you said, Luka. I honestly think the best player in the league is Nikola Jokic. He's from Serbia. You mentioned Giannis from Greek. This is a stat that Stephen A said, but the NBA holds 120 players from 40 different countries and 6 continents. That was in 2021. Now it's 2023. It has to increase by now. It's just global. I don't really know. The best of players across the world they choose to come to America, where they can respectively stay in their own country, but they choose to compete with the best players. It's literally a third of all players are international. So and honestly, I think players in the NBA, they could make the argument they play against more international competition than this guy. So he probably is a good guy. He means well, and shout out him. He represents the United States, but it just came off as a little ignorant. And I'm glad all the NBA players are sticking with each other and saying, yo, this guy need help. He doing it. And I think low key, I think he is doing it for clout. What do you think?
Still, at the end of the day, I don't know what he said that thing for. Maybe he genuinely believed that, but we just had the FIBA World Cup where the U.S. men took gold just last season. And not even, just like 8 months ago. Last summer, they won gold. So, like, I just, like you said, it was just an ignorant statement. But, I understand where he's coming from. It's not like when the NBA champions are not raising an American flag. But, brother, there's international. Especially on the Nuggets, there's multiple international players on the team.
Jamal Murray.
Canada. So, like, bro.
Hey, that's one team I don't want to play right now. They're smoking everyone. Is Canada legit now? The Maple Leaf State.
They got Dylan Brooks. I don't know. I got you with that one.
I just want to skip that right now. I mean, we can't talk about that. No, but on a serious note, Shai is balling.
Yeah.
They put Dylan Brooks on the thumbnail, but my man Shai dropped 30. What?
Dylan Brooks had the dunk. He had the dunk. He had the poster. He has
shout out my man RJ Barrett. He's improving. I like him going in there and playing. I was skeptical because Jalen Brunson's playing for the United States, but it's good. He's playing against international players and he's building some camaraderie around other players, and maybe it's a little recruitment. There's some good players in Canada, and to be honest, the most rated player in the United States team. Do you know who it is?
On the U.S. men's team?
Yeah, it came as a shock to me.
All right, so it's not Anthony Edwards. I'm gonna say Jared Jackson Jr.
No, he did foul out last game though, but and they asked him they said, "You gonna change your style of play?" He goes, "Fuck no." I love it. No, Austin Reeves. Yeah,
he's huge in the Philippines. So
and after their last win, I think it was on Sunday or Saturday, coming out of the tunnel, Anthony Edwards screamed, "This man Austin is him." A lot of people like this kid.
Yo, Austin Reeves, kid. For me personally, though, he showed me a lot, especially 100%. During that playoff run. He was able to close out the season averaging, near 15 points a game, a few rebounds. Like, he was having a tremendous, end of the season. And the fact that he was able to put up those same numbers in the playoffs, usually we see a drop-off with some of these, role players, you could say, in the regular season average such and such numbers, and then come postseason time, those numbers drop off. With Austin Reeves, they kind of increase, honestly, especially with the points per game in the playoffs. So, still, the fact that he was able to play better in the bigger moments speaks volumes, especially to me.
Yeah, 100%. So I like him. I hope the United States win. They seem a little undersized, but we'll see how it goes. It is the FIBA. I know they're not really taking it as serious, but I just want them to win for the United States. A little selfish of me. But two things I want to touch on the NFL. Arizona, literally maybe an hour, 2 hours before we came live, Arizona Cardinals cut Colt McCoy, and we projected him being the starter, but they traded for Josh Dobbs. They actually wanted, rumors are coming out now that they actually tried to trade for him in the offseason. They couldn't. They traded for him I think it was last week, and he's projected to be the starter. They didn't take Kyler Murray off the PUP list, so the next week, I think, is week 2 or week 3 that they could activate him. So Josh Dobbs is projected to be the starter for at least the first month, I would say. So what are your thoughts on that? Because we like Colt McCoy. I know this team's in the rebuilding stage, but you think Josh Dobbs is better?
Still, honestly, yeah. Talent-wise, yes. Do you have a better chance of winning and being more competitive in the division with Joshua Dobbs instead of Colt McCoy? Yes. True answer, yes.
Yeah, I would agree.
Can Colt McCoy win you some games? Yes. But could Joshua Dobbs elevate the offense just enough to Kyler Murray gets back to win you a couple games? Like, let's be real, Dylan. First 4 games of the season, how many games you expect, Colt McCoy to honestly win? At least with Joshua Dobbs, I could possibly see them sneaking out 2 now. It's still going to be tough, but still, I like their chances putting up. Like, I like the offense just off the rip. The offense is going to be much better with Joshua Dobbs running it. He's more athletic. He got a stronger arm. Could possibly read the defense just a little better than Colt McCoy. Colt McCoy, he comes in his stance and does his job, but Joshua Dobbs been starting, a lot in the past year and a half with multiple teams. So, still, I think it's going to be a good fit. It might not be the perfect fit, just because he's just getting the job now. But, still, moving forward, I think that's the best option till Kyler Murray returns. I think Joshua Dobbs is better than Colt McCoy.
Yeah, I do think that it is the right decision. And I know he's moved around Pittsburgh, then he went to Tennessee, and I thought he actually played all right in Tennessee, to be honest.
In the playoff game, he did better than I expected him to.
100%. And I thought he actually gave him a chance to win the game. And Colt McCoy, he's another guy. He's been around the league, Cleveland, Washington. I think he was the Giants for a second. Then the last 2 years, he was in Arizona. But he's okay. He does a lot of checkdowns. He's not going to force the ball downfield, which, I think you need in this type of league. So I get the move. And it stems back all the way from the offseason where we thought that Arizona, they're in a rebuild mode. I was looking at their schedule. First 4 or 5 games are very tough. Now, with Colt McCoy, I said that they could win 1. We'll preview them over the weekend, but Josh Dobbs actually gives them the start maybe 1-1. I think maybe they can sneak out a win, but I think Josh Dobbs does give you a better chance at winning. So I understand the move. And then the other move was Eagles defensive end Derek Barnett. Through his agent, he's trying to propose a trade. He's trying to get out of Philly. They have a deep pass rush roster, so it's probably going to limit his playing time. He was a first-round pick in 2017, so I feel like he'll have some trade value, or at least a lot of teams will be interested. Where do you think could a team maybe needs another pass rusher?
Dill, I just lifts off all the contenders, honestly, Dill. Any team that's trying to make that playoff push, trying to make a championship push, can always use another pass rusher. I understand with Barnett, it's frustrating. He's a great talent, Dill, but let's just be frank. That Eagle front line is fucking loaded. So I understand he probably won't get a lot of playing time, but trust me, I guarantee you there's a handful of teams possibly already making phone calls to the Philadelphians that's, in need of not just, possibly a starting defensive end, but maybe somebody that could set the locker room, be a veteran leadership as well. Maybe, go to a younger team, maybe like the Texans, something like that. But I possibly see him going more towards a contender that could be more. He could be more of just an added piece than just a leader right away.
Yeah, he was the 14th pick overall from Tennessee in 2017. He's played at least 14 games in his first 5 seasons, except in 2008 when he got hurt. He only played 6 games. But outside that, he's getting you 20, 25 tackles, maybe anywhere from 3 to 5.5 was his highest. 6 1 year. But I think he's a solid player. It's just that defensive line is stacked. So I understand like these numbers on a worser team. For example, the Cardinals, we'll stick with them. You go to there, you're going to have playing time. Your numbers are going to increase and you might get a big payday. So yeah, I think he does have some trade value. And I think I think the Philadelphia Eagles will trade him before the start of the season. I don't think they want that in their locker room. They're trying to win a championship right now. And, when a guy wants out, usually they cooperate and try to go have like a chimeric relationship where they kind of just go their separate ways. So that was it. Over the weekend, though, you did go undefeated. How does it feel? You were saying all this hot stuff.
Dill, I was shocked. The fact that your boy was able to go 4-0 on the diamond is a rare occasion. I would advise the people to tread lightly today. If anything, I have no problem with y'all fading the boy. Y'all could fade me today. I went 4-0 Saturday, so whoever cashed out with me, you cashed out. But shout out the Rangers money line, Houston money line, Red Sox dog of the day, and then Tampa on the run line against the bum ass Yankees.
Yeah, no, it's so good. Faded the Yankees. I did it over the weekend as well. Rangers got a win, and then they blew it yesterday. Went right back with them, and they fucked me. But other than that, the Mets actually got a win last night. But yeah, we're doing actually really well on the bases. We're about 31 games left in the regular season, and then playoffs come. So I feel like once we dialed back the action a little bit, we got a lot better, I think, to be honest. That's my take. But let's start. We got 14 games on the slate, and I only have 2 plays, Elvis. Only 2 plays for me.
Wow.
Yeah. I told you. Hey, Joe in the chat saying, can you get a Red Sox money line?
I got you, boys. I got you. Dill, let me start it off, Dill. Let's head to Detroit, Dill. We just talked about this team, the Yankees. We've been fading them. But, Dill, guess what? Severino on the mound in Detroit. Dill, I'm going to do it. Give me the New York Yankees on the road, -103 on the money line. As of right now, people, I'm telling you, you might just fade me. They're at +100. I called it
for a reason.
For a reason, the New York Yankees are at +100 against the Detroit Tigers. Shocker. Still, give me the Yankees on the road. Over under sitting at 8.5, +100 people. If you take the Detroit Tigers, by all means, I respect it. Yankees are a complete fade. I think losers 13 out of the last 15, something like that. So I understand it, but Dill, in Detroit, I think they come around here. Wow. Dill, let's head to Boston. Houston Astros taking on the Boston Red Sox. Dill, Joey, over under sitting at 10. Give me the Boston Red Sox -130 on the money line.
I love it, E. I love it. I'm actually on the Boston Red Sox as well tonight. Hey, our boy Chris Sale's on the mound. I think this is a good. I'm a Chris Sale guy. I'm not a Red Sox guy. Yeah, our boy. I'm not a Red Sox fan, but I respect Chris Sale now. It's a big lefty. He throws temper tantrums. I was saying it last year when he was throwing a temper tantrum. I called him out for it. I'll hold him accountable. So I'm backing him. I actually think this is a good spot for the Red Sox. He's actually been better at home than he has been on the road. Astros, they won on Saturday and Sunday. They got 25 hits, a franchise record yesterday. Bats are going to be a little sluggish today. They had to travel to Fenway. I think this is a good spot for him. Christian Javier's okay, but this Red Sox lineup, they got contact hitters, and I think they're going to get all over Chris Sale. So getting a short price right now. I got them at a -124. They're a -132. I still like it. I still think they're a good price right there. As for your Yankees play, I'm disappointed. You can't back the Yankees and then on the same sentence be like, yeah, and then I'm backing the Red Sox. Like, that's crazy.
Dill, like I said, the Yankees they're due. They're due. And Detroit, but like this, it's a tough game to lose in Detroit. Let alone win. It's a tough game to lose in Detroit, Dill. Like that's it's gonna be hard for the Yankees to lose in Detroit. Like they're gonna have to purposely blow the game.
Luis Severino is just hot garbage. And actually, Detroit, they play a little frisky. Obviously, on paper, the Yankees have a much better team.
That's what I'm saying. On paper, Dill, the Yankees should sweep.
They should.
Bare minimum run line sweep.
Oh, man. I'll go to my next play. That first one was the Red Sox on the money line. My second play is a total. I'm going to go to the 707 in the 6-side Blue Jays against the Nationals. -255 for the Blue Jays, +210 for the Nationals. Over under. Oh my God, it's at 7.5. Well, I guess I'll give this play out then. I took the under 8.5 in the morning. It's all the way at 7.5. I can't advise the under at that number, but you're getting over a $2 dog with a team that is 8-2 in their last 10. The Blue Jays, they're a good team, but they just lost as over a $2 underdog yesterday to the Guardians and Noah Syndergaard. They're over a $2 favorite again. I get it. Kevin Gausman is solid at home, but Josiah Gray has been great on the road this season. They're swinging a hot bat. I think the Nationals are live. Give me my dog of the day. Nationals, a plus 210 underdog today. I think they're live here. And I also like the under, but at 7.5, I can't take the under at that number. Any other plays you like, kid?
Dill, two more, Dill. Let's send it off, Dill. The Texas Rangers taking on your New York Mets, Dill. Queens, New York, Dill. Over Anderson. Oh, we got some at 8.5, some at 9. Shop around, people. Dill, I'm going to play this one safe. I know you thought I was going to say the Rangers money line. I know you thought that, Dill. But give me the Mets on the run line, minus 135, people. A little chalky, Dill. Plus, I'm getting plus 1.5, Dill. You telling me I'm about to lose by 2-3 runs? That's what you telling me? That's what you telling me, Dill? Y'all can't lose by 1? Y'all can't lose by 1 tonight?
Not the way this team playing.
They're going to get some revenge. They feel hurt. Scherzer, gone. Verlander, gone. I'm telling you, DeGrom, gone. Dill, I'm telling you, there's going to be something in the energy tonight. There's going to be something cooking in New York. A lot of frustrated fans. A lot of frustrated management, Dill. I'm telling you right, look, yourself included, Dill. The Mets on the run line. Then we get a little sprinkle on the money line as well, Dill. Last play of the night, Dill. Let's head it off to San Francisco. The Cincinnati Reds taking off the San Francisco Giants, Dill. Give me the dog of the day. Cincinnati Reds plus 114 on the money line, baby.
I love it. I actually really like the Reds today. Andrew Abbott is the much better pitcher against Kyle Harrison. Kyle Harrison has one career start in the major leagues, and the Giants just got blown out on Sunday Night Baseball. They didn't get to their beds till like 2-3 in the morning.
Plus 114 is disrespectful.
Especially for the Reds, who have been raking recently. They're averaging 6.8 runs in their past 5 games. I do like the Reds too. That was going to be another play. As for the Mets, I'm glad you're as confident as I am. Elvis is on another level. I'll be
episode
at the
300, baby.
Yeah, gotta come for the heat. I love it. I'll be at the game tomorrow. Honestly, I'm just going for the free gift that they're giving out. I don't want to watch them, to be honest. They're gonna be a disgrace. Tyler McGill, he's pathetic. I can't back him. Rangers, they blew it. They were winning the whole game yesterday. They lost on a walk-off walk.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Rangers should win this game, to be honest. The Mets, they're feeble. They should,
but I say y'all lose by 1. That's all.
Yeah, I could see it. But, I'm just glad you have a little more faith in them than I do. Other plays, like Elvis said, I do like the Reds. I actually like the Brewers. I like the Brewers getting plus money on the road as well over the Cubs. The Brewers are the hottest team in baseball. They won 8 in a row. And this is a big series for them against the Cubs. So if they at least win 2 or 3, they're going to keep widening the gap between them and the Reds. So it's not saying like I love Wade Miley, but I just think he's a little better than Jamison Tyon. Jamison Tyon has been awful in the month of August. 18 runs given up in 26 innings. And most of the teams he faced aren't good compared to the Brewers. Brewers are actually scoring runs. They've scored 5 or more runs in 8 straight games on their win streak. So if they get at least 5-6 runs, they're going to beat the Cubs. So I like the Brewers as well. So another dog. So I like a lot of dogs today, kid. That's why I was very hesitant. I like the board too much. That was my problem. That was my problem.
That's why you got to peel it back.
Peel it back just a little. But Elvis, good luck. Let's stay hot on the diamond. Before we go on over to the NFC West, quick word from our sponsor today. We are brought to you by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market, hands down. So no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV, Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebrations as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick. Just like how we like our lives, whether it's Huckleberry playing a round of golf with the boys or an elderberry after a Saturday morning workout, it doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with that artisanal Blanco tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at the Dream Wager and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. All right, Elvis, last conference to get to. We went through them all on Saturday. I need your NFC prediction. We got our AFC prediction. Now I need the NFC prediction. We'll start with the Rams because I think there's a little more to talk about with the Seahawks. So right now, Rams to win the Super Bowl 65-1. Get your tickets in now. To win the NFC 35-1. They have the third best odds in the NFC at 10-1. Win totals at 6.5, over +110, under -134. Actually opened up at 7.5, been bet down to 6.5. To make the playoffs, +285. To miss the playoffs, -375. Elvis, I only think there's one way to go with this team. I will let you lead it off, but gonna be a tough year. I mean, I'll say this. So Matthew Stafford went on his wife's podcast over the weekend, and he said he's having a really tough time connecting with all of the young players. They have 15 young draftees who are like, I don't know, any between 19 and 21 years old. He's saying he's having really hard connecting and bonding with the young guys. Gonna be a hard season for them, I think. What are your thoughts? Speak to me about their win total.
Still, I'm gonna be real with you. This was a tough one to tackle, just because you know how I feel about Sean McVay. I think he's an offensive
top
genius.
5 coach.
You know, definitely offensive coach.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Matt Stafford. I still have him in my top 10. I know you don't, but you know, that's our opinions. I still think Cooper Kupp is the second best. Well, third best wide receiver in football when healthy. People. Let's make sure we got that on the air. When healthy. Still, with that being said, I have 2 plays.
Okay.
If healthy, if Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp gives me 15 games played together, keyword played 15 games together, I see this team winning at least 8-9 games. Let's just be real. Dill. Let's just be real. When Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford is on, this team could win 8-9 games together, Dill. Do I believe they're gonna do it? No, Dill. But they can, and the fact that you feel that way, Dill, is shocking to me because I saw what was able. Aaron Donald's still a top 3, top 5 defensive player in football. Defense is still gonna be pretty good. I'm not gonna say great. I'm not gonna say top 10, but I don't think it's gonna be a bottom 10 defense now. So, Dill, I'm not gonna say I like this team, but I just don't see this team going under the win total. Dill, give me over 6.5. And to be honest, Dill, I think you got to put a sprinkle on to make the playoffs at +280 just because the NFC is so weak. You're not going to tell me a healthy Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp together with a pretty good defense could possibly win 9 games. Still, I think 9 wins is a playoff team in the NFC. The NFC is pretty weak. Am I going to bet the money, to make the playoffs? Possibly not. But I think it's worth a sprinkle just because I do believe Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp, when healthy, is a top 5 quarterback wide receiver duo.
To say I'm shocked is an understatement right now. I think I feel like I'm in the Twilight Zone. I'm not gonna lie.
This is all if they're healthy. If Matthew Stafford goes out there plays 8 games, this is unvalid. Cooper Kupp goes out there plays 9 games. This is unvalid. I'm saying if they play 15 plus games together, they're winning 8-9 of them.
I just don't see it. I want to ask you real quick before I break down and tell you what I think. going into this season, besides Aaron Donald, we know, and they did return. Oh, no, that was the other one. They did lose Bobby Wagner. We'll talk about the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Front seven, what do you think coming into this season they're ranked by PFF?
I'm going to say 23rd.
31st. What do you think their secondary is ranked? This is with the pieces they have right now.
Yeah. I'm going to say going off last season, losing Jalen Ramsey, they're front 31st, so I'm going to say 29th.
32nd.
That's cap. That's cap, Bill.
I'm just saying, I can't really name one person besides Aaron Donald on this defense, besides DeMar Kendrick. Besides him and Aaron Donald, I can't name one player on the defense.
They drafted that stud corner.
Who? No, that's Seahawks. Witherspoon.
No. That's why they traded Jalen Ramsey, bro. I think they grabbed bro in the second round. I forgot his name already. But
no, they drafted in the second round Steve Avila, the offensive guard from TCU. They didn't draft a cornerback until the 6th round, Tre'Davious Thomas, and he didn't even make the team.
Yeah, I don't know who it was.
It was Witherspoon. It was Witherspoon to go with Tariq Wooden for the Seahawks, 5th overall from Illinois, who makes those hits. Bro, I can't name anyone on this team. You're right. When healthy, Stafford and Kupp, top 5, top 3, maybe connection. I agree. But that's all they have. That's legit all they have. And I remember.
I feel that's enough to win. I'm not saying they're going to win 12 games. I'm not saying they're going to win the division. But to win just 8, 7 games, I think they could do that.
I think I said a few weeks ago on the pod, I was leaning towards the over because, like you, I was saying with Aaron Donald, with Sean McVay, with a healthy Cam Akers, healthy Cooper Kupp, this team could win 4 or 5 games by themselves. That's what I was saying. But then I was going through everything, and to be honest, I wish I got the 7.5 under, but I gotta go under. They have a pretty tough schedule too. You know, opening the season on the road in Seattle, home against 49ers, away against Cincinnati, and then away against the Colts. 1-3.
Yeah.
Then the next
same.
Yeah. 1-3, and then they play at home against the Eagles. Very tough game. 1-4. Week 6, maybe Colt McCoy's back. That at home, that might not be a gimme. I gave Kyler Murray. So I gave them those two. I swept them for them. But they play the Arizona Cardinals in week 6 and week 12. By that time, Kyler Murray might be there. Not to say that he has a roster to compete, but Kyler Murray's won games by himself. So those aren't gimmies. I gave him a win. Then you're home against Pittsburgh. That's a tough game. On the road against Jerry World. That's a tough game. On the road in Lambeau, it's an easier game, but as much as I'm down on the Packers, I still think they're better than the Rams. You know, I see maybe 5-6 wins if everything goes right and there aren't injuries. If there aren't and everything's like we live in a utopia, yeah, I think they could go over on just their players, but Elvis, they're only favored in 2 games this season, and they're a 3.5-point underdog on average to everyone else. You know, the Rams, they play 5 games with a rest disadvantage compared to 2 games with a rest advantage. The Rams play 4 teams coming off a bye, including back-to-back weeks against the Steelers and the Cowboys. They're coming off byes and in week 7 and 8. And then they play the Ravens and Commanders when they come off back-to-back byes in week 14 and 15. You're giving those guys a lot of time to prepare for you, even if you're healthy. And who's to say they're going to be healthy in those weeks? So, and now, like I said, the roster, their depth is concerning for me. You know, they lost Jalen Ramsey, like you mentioned, and I think they'll see some regression on defense. Like, and last year, the Rams, they didn't defeat one winning team. They went 0-8 against winning teams. And to be honest, the games that I gave them, like I said, against the Cardinals in week 16 and 14, Kyler Murray might be back. So outside of those 2 games against the Cardinals, I don't want to be disrespectful, but the only game I see them winning is against the Colts. Yeah, they could win against the Commanders. I think they could maybe split one against the, I don't know, maybe.
That's just disrespect.
The Commanders. No, it's not. It's reality. They don't have depth because they traded all these draft picks away.
So you don't think they could beat the Saints at home? You don't think they could beat the
No.
Giants in MetLife? You don't think they could beat the
No.
Commanders at home?
Yeah, that's one I gave them. But even then, they're coming off a bye. That's no gimme. I think Sam Howell's going to be really good.
I know you're very high on the Browns, but I feel like that's going to be a tough game for the Browns as well.
Their roster is loaded.
I hear you, cuz. I hear you. But, Dill, you got to at least give them some respect, Dill.
I did. I gave them.
This is a team that just came off a championship run 2 years ago.
Yeah, in 2021, this ain't the same team. Outside Cooper Kupp, who do they have? Tyler Higbee, he's a bottom of the league tight end. Van Jefferson, they traded for him. He's done nothing for them. Cam Akers, he gets hurt. They have no run game. And then Matt Stafford's going to sit back there and get buried. They don't have a good offensive line either. PFF ranked their offensive line 30th in the league. That's not a good combination. That's why Matt Stafford got hurt last season. So I gave him games. I swept the Cardinals. I gave him Indianapolis. I gave him the Commanders. And even if I give them New York, that's 5. I could give them the Saints. That's 6. Like, who are they beating? The Ravens? The 49ers? The Steelers? Like, they're not beating these teams. Like, they have a major depth issue, in my opinion. Yeah, they traded all away their picks. They did it. They won the Super Bowl in 2021, so credit them. But long-term, it didn't set up for success. Why do you think Matt Stafford won it out in the offseason? I mean, this team, I just don't see it, E. I just don't see it. So,
together, like I said, that's what I'm saying. Together, I give them a shot. You know, do I love it? No. Do I like it? But Dill, together, if they're healthy together, Dill, I see them going over minimum.
Let's start with quarterback Matthew Stafford. His passing yards, 3,550.5, minus 112 both ways. His interceptions is at 11.5, minus 102 towards the over. It's favored to actually go under at minus 126. No passing touchdowns unless you see something.
That was weird, right? I was confused about
I was confused about that. But we'll start with his passing yards, 3,550.5. Now, we only played 9 games last season. He got hurt, so obviously he went under. But outside of that, last 2 seasons, his first one, he almost threw for 5,000 yards when they won the Super Bowl. His last season with Detroit, he threw for over 4,000 yards. In 2019, he went under. He threw for 2,500, but he only played 8 games. But if he plays 15 to 16 games, he's going to throw 4,000 yards. I don't know how else, even without all this.
Even 14, honestly. 14 games, he goes over this.
Together. Elvis, you got Joe in the chat. Just keep saying together. I love it. But I got to go over E. I mean, if he's 100% healthy and he plays 15 to 16 games, even with Tyler Higbee, Van Jefferson, and Cooper Kupp, if he could stay healthy, he's going to get 4,000 yards. I mean, that's what they're going to do. They're not a run team. Sean McVay's going to air it out. So I got to go over here. How about you?
Still, same. I'm kind of shocked that it's this low. To me, it should have been somewhere around 40, 41, 42 at least. But I understand, the injury is a concern there, especially coming off last season. Like you just alluded, 38th ranked offensive line. Like, that's not a recipe for success. So maybe that injury, is lingering with the bet, Dill, because 35 is just numbers too short. As you can see in his career, he's averaging 4,000 plus. And he was doing this in Detroit, who I could say definitely had a poor wide receiver core besides the Calvin Johnson years. So, still, I'm shocked that it's this low, but you do got to have a concern for the injury bug.
Yeah, 100%. Now, if you look at his interception, besides the year, he kind of forced it, but he almost put up 5,000 yards the year, and he won the Super Bowl in 2021. He threw for 17 interceptions. But outside of that, 8 last season. Yeah, he got hurt. But even his last season in Detroit, where he really had no one, only 10, then 5, 11, 10, 10. Like, he doesn't throw that many. I know his rookie season, he threw 20 interceptions, but a lot of greats throw a lot of interceptions. Look at your guy you're wearing right now, Peyton Manning. He had, I don't even know how much he had in his rookie season. He had a lot though. So I actually like the under. I think he'll actually take care of the ball this season. I would go under, if anything. I know it's juiced to minus 126, but I don't think he'll force it this season. How about you?
Still, I pick the Rams to go over, but still, Matt Stafford's going to force the ball. We know Sean McVay, he's going to call at least 40, 45, maybe even 50 pass attempts a game. That's just who he is. And, Matthew Stafford's going to force the ball. So, still, I'm going to go over. I understand it's, the juice is under, but still, he has 10 multiple times in his career. He went over this mark by a mile his only full season as a Ram. Still, I expect it to be somewhere in the teenagers if he plays all 16, 17 games this season. Just because with that offense, it's a pass first offense, and Matthew Stafford is not shy about forcing the ball in there. Like you said, I expect to have a ton of yards, a ton of touchdowns, but also have some picks in there as well.
Now, if we move over to Cam Akers, he's another guy that first year missed 3 games, missed the whole season. He played one. He literally played a half and maybe a quarter in 2021 when they won the Super Bowl. Last season, he played 15 games, still missed 2. How efficient do you think Cam Akers could be this season? Bad offensive line. His numbers at 775.5 minus 112 both ways, and his touchdowns is high too, I think, at 5.5. Cam Akers is a total stay away for me. 770.5 seems like a big jump. Last season, he rushed for, barely got over. He got 786. We won't count 2021. He only had 1 carry. And then his rookie season, when they were okay and they had a good offensive line, he only rushed for 625. I would stay away from Cam Akers personally, but what do you think?
Dill, I'm on it, Dill. Give me the under. The fact that, I don't expect this offensive line to be any good. Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford being a pass-first offense. I just don't see Cam Akers, one, going over this mark if they're being a good team. And second of all, it sucks to say, I don't see him being able to play all 17 games, Dill. So
that's the thing, for me.
And another way to look at it, if you think they're going to be a bad team, that means they're going to be playing down in the game a lot. So what they're going to have to do, pass the ball to put up points on the scoreboard. So they're going to be limited running the ball, especially if they're a bad team and have to play catch up in most of these games. So I think this is a solid play, Dill. Give me Cam Akers under. The fact that it's over 700 is shocking to me. When you've got some players out here that's only at 650, 700, and to me, they're more respectable with way better offensive linemen.
Yeah. And I would stay away from Cam Akers on fantasy, to be honest, as well, too, just because he is a liability that could get hurt. Now, we're not wishing he could get hurt, but he does miss games. Facts are the facts. Exactly. So another guy coming off injury, I think he's a top 5 receiver, top 3 debatable, but Cooper Kupp, he only played 9 games last season. He had 75 catches for 812 yards. This season, his receiving numbers, 1,225.5 minus 112 both ways. His reception prop is at 105.5 minus 112 both ways, and his touchdowns are at 8.5. I stayed away from the touchdowns, but I gotta go over receptions and I gotta go over receiving yards. I think he stays healthy this season, and if I like Matthew Stafford to go over, I have to go with their number 1 receiver. If he could play 15 to 17 games, he's a 14, maybe 1,500 yard receiver, in my opinion, excuse me. So obviously he's coming off that historical season where he almost caught for 2,000 yards in 2021. But other than that, then he played 15 games in 2020, had 974. In 2019, he had 1,100. I think he could go over 1,200. When healthy, that's the best combination. So, yeah, they're a good combination. If you want to get them in fantasy as well, Kupp and Jared Goff as well, I do like Stafford. That because they're going to – Stafford. What did I say?
Goff. You like
Goff. I do like Goff. I'm not going to lie. I've turned around on Goff. But in one of my leagues, I actually just drafted him in the last round as my backup. I think that's a solid pick. But anyway, I like Cooper Kupp to go over his receiving yards, 1,225. And I think he catches at least 110, 115 balls.
Still. Same. I don't even need to talk too much. I agree with what you said. Cooper Kupp over 1,225.5 and receptions. I think 105 is too low. I see him somewhere if healthy, somewhere between 120 to 130. Just because we see it, he's gonna get most of the targets. We saw this man get over 15 targets in back-to-back playoff games. So deep and down, third down, they need a first down. They go to Cooper Kupp, double team, triple team. No look, it don't matter. The ball's going to find its way to Cooper Kupp. To me, he goes anywhere from 120 to 130-something receptions. And then yards, though, if he's going to have 100 and let's just say 125 receptions, he's going to average more than 10 yards to catch. So that already knows how I feel.
Yeah, together, too. They're going to do it together, which I like. So Yeah, that's the Rams. I think we're pretty much aligned considering the fact just the wins. I think you're a little more optimistic. You want to believe in them. You want to believe in Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay.
No,
I hear you.
No, it's just not believe. It's just you can say I can have respect. I seen them do it once still, so why not able to do it again? I understand I understand they don't have Von Miller. They don't got Jitty. They don't got these star names, but still the core is still there. The quarterback, the star wide receiver, the star defensive player. The core is still there, baby. It's just, can they put it together? Can the offensive line be, top 20 instead of, bottom 10? Stuff like that, Dill. It's going to be tough, but
you believe in them.
I have a lot of respect for them. Let's just say that.
I got respect for him. I think Sean McVay's a top 5 coach.
Think about it, Dill. I can honestly say those are all 4 Hall of Famers.
I would say 3 of the 4. Right now, I wouldn't give it to Cooper Kupp just yet. He has had one historic season.
Super Bowl MVP.
Okay. That's it. He has one good year. One good year. Yeah. I just read off the numbers. He only had one good year in 2021. Other than that, he barely got 1,000 yards. He's missed time in every season besides that Super Bowl.
Yeah. I agree with you 100%.
It's only one season. That's the thing. We can't keep giving all these players just, you're the Hall of Fame. One good year. You won a Super Bowl.
But he had arguably the greatest wide receiver year of all time. He won Offensive Player of the Year and Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah, but then he got hurt. He can't duplicate it. Greats do it forever. Yeah. Shannon Sharp. I'm channeling my inner Shannon Sharp. By the way, did you watch Undisputed? Not Undisputed. Yeah, it's Undisputed with I love it because Skip is sick. He can't get a word in. It's the best.
I wouldn't say that. I just feel like it was the first episode, so he tried to I just feel like he wants them to be comfortable, at the end of the day. But
it was great seeing Michael Irvin.
Bro, Michael Irvin, bro.
He goes, sorry. I haven't been on TV in a while.
Wow, I haven't worked.
Yeah, I was crying when I heard that. I said, yo, Michael Irvin, you got Richard Sherman.
And then Keyshawn, bro, that's going to be electric day in, day out. The fact that it took this long to get those 4 on the same table.
I'm glad.
Yeah, it's going to be a great show.
And I'm actually glad Joey's with us because now we will talk about his team, the Seattle Seahawks, to win the Super Bowl 35-1, to win the NFC 13-1. They have the second best odds to win this division, the NFC West at plus 200. Win totals at 8.5, minus 142 towards the over, very chalky, plus 116 to the under. To make the playoffs, minus 120, I think that's good odds. And to not make the playoffs is at even money. I'll start this one off because you started the Rams. Give me the over for the Seahawks. I think they win about 9-10 games. It's very easy for me. Starting to go into their bye week in week 5. I think they could start 3-1, maybe 4-0. I think it's a tough game in Detroit, but other than that, I think they blow by the Rams. I think they beat up on the Carolina Panthers, and I think they beat up on the Giants. Then they go into their bye. Then it gets a little tougher, but I think they could easily be 3-1, maybe 4-0 going into week 5. And last year, it was nice to see the Seahawks, get back to their winning way. And I think it comes from a very successful organization from top down. They improved the team on both sides of the ball. They added my boy Jackson Smith-Njigba from the Ohio State. And now it gives Geno 3 legit receivers. You got DK, Tyler Lockett, and now you got my boy Jackson Smith-Njigba. I think it helps their run game and their pass game, to be honest. And they improved their defense. It's gonna help. They got Draymond Jones from the Broncos. That's gonna help stop the run as well. And back to their offense real quick. Despite having look at the numbers last year, they had league average numbers. They struggled in the red zone. They only scored a touchdown in 48.3% of their red zone trips. That's the 6th worst in the league. So I think they improved there. They added a running back, and he's another fantasy guy to watch out for. Zach Charbot from UCLA. He actually might get more touches than Kenneth Walker because Kenneth Walker is a little banged up. We talked about it about a month ago. So He's going to help their running back room and in the red zone. And in the red zone, they had a negative 10.3 success rate running the ball. I think we're going to at least see some positive regression in the red zone for the Seahawks. So they're favored in 9 games this season. I think they win at least 9-10 games. And I also think they get into the playoffs as maybe a wild card team. So going to take them to win the playoffs, make the playoffs at minus 120. And I think they go over their win total at minus 142. How about you?
Dill. This was a tough one, Dill, because I like the Seahawks personally. I love the fact that Geno Smith got paid, rightfully so. I love the fact he was able to revive his career in Seattle, Dill. But I'm going to go over, Dill, but it's not like I love the over just because, I do agree with you. I do believe I have him starting 3-1, Dill, but, after the bye week, the schedule is, it ain't an easy one now. So, Dill, I like the over, but I'm not betting the over. So I'll lean the over, Dill, but I got to win exactly 8 games at plus 600, Dill. So I'll sprinkle something on the over just because I give him better shot to win 9 games. Do I have him winning 7 games? Because I don't see him winning 7 games at all. I got him at 8 or 9. So, but I do like the 8 people, but I'm more confident at 8 than the 9. Dill, give me the win exactly 8 games at plus 600. And Dill, give me the Seahawks to make the playoffs, Dill. Like I said, the NFC is weak. I do believe the Seahawks have what it takes, have enough firepower defensively and offensively as well to make the playoffs. Honestly, to possibly make some noise in the playoffs too. Mm-hmm. It all depends how good Geno looks. I'm not saying Geno needs to look as good as he did last season, but he just can't have a major drop-off. That's all, Dill. So give me the Seahawks to make the playoffs, and the Seahawks lean the over. I like the over, just not in love with it, and to give me to win exactly 8 games at plus 600.
Kind of hedging yourself a little bit. I get it. Yeah, their schedule does get a little harder, but I just name off a few games. Like just say they go 3-1 going into their bye. I think they beat Arizona, Washington, LA again, Tennessee, and Arizona. So that's 8 right there. But then you're right. They got Cincinnati on the road. They got Baltimore on the road. They got Cleveland at home. Obviously, they play the 49ers twice. They got Cowboys on the road. They play the Eagles at home. And then they play the Steelers. I think they could maybe not take one from the 49ers, but I think they could take one from maybe the Browns or the Steelers.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's why I said I lean it. Just because I see the 9. Mm-hmm. I'm just not in love with it. I'm not
100%.
I'm not to bet it at minus 102. Like I see it. I'm not denying they're gonna win 9 games, but to me, the 8 sticks. Like to me, I wouldn't mind putting an extra couple of dollars on the exactly 8 wins at plus 8 at 600, Dill, just because that back end schedule. I'm not saying it's the hardest in the league, but it's gonna be hard to keep putting those together, Dill. I think exactly 8 wins is the play. But I still got them making the playoffs, so it wouldn't shock me to get to 9.
No, and I think they have a really good defense. Obviously, we know about Tyreek Wool in the corner. They go in, they draft 5th overall, Devin Witherspoon from Illinois. Now they got set up. Jamal Adams, he's healthy. He came off the pup lip. He's going to be 100%. They got Quavon Diggs in the safety position as well. Bobby Wagner returns to the 6th man. They got some pieces on that defense. PFF ranked them the 7th best secondary. I think that's a little too much respect.
I give them top 10-ish.
Top 10, yes. Top 10, yes. But 7 was...
Yo, you got to understand. They had, you got to give them respect. They had, came in 2nd in Defensive Rookie of the Year, Will Lynn. They possibly have another star corner in the 5th overall pick. So, Dill, there's a small chance. By the end of the year, those 2 guys might be top 10, top 15 corners.
Yeah, no, I agree. They got Devin Bush. Remember, he was a 1st-round pick from the Steelers. They go and get Devin Bush off fucking the Steelers, traded him for pennies on the dollars. It was just a bad fit in Pittsburgh, which you usually don't see.
He was getting hurt a lot as well.
He was.
And that's the thing. In the Steelers, they always have great linebacker rotation.
That's the thing.
So if you fall out of the lineup with injuries, trust me, your playing time is gonna be gone.
That's what was so confusing because you thought when he got drafted, you're like, wow, that's a perfect fit for Devin Bush. But then he just couldn't stay healthy and on the field. And at a certain point, how the Steelers develop linebackers, you're done.
Yeah.
So I agree. They remember a few years ago, they got Charlie Cross for left tackle, offensive line help. They got Abraham Lucas. Offensive line ranked, it's the worst. It's the 20th. That's the worst ranked quarterback. They're ranked 19th. Running back room, like I said, they're ranked 7th in the league. I like that rookie out of UCLA. Receivers, they have a top 5 receiving core with DK, Tyler Lockett, and Jugbu. They have a top 10 head coach in Pete Carroll. There's a lot to like about this team. So I understand they do have a hard schedule on the back half of the season, but this is definitely a playoff team, I think. And I think Geno might not be the guy moving forward, but he is the guy for right now, for at least the second or third, for maybe 2 or 3 more years till they draft the next future guy. I think Geno's perfect for this team, right?
Yeah, dude, I think Geno's right there, top 15 quarterback, and that's where you want to be. As long as you have an above average quarterback, you'll be in position to win. Maybe not contend to a Super Bowl, but in position to win. Like you said, Dill, I have them making the playoffs. You got to make the playoffs. They made the playoffs last season. So,
Yeah.
Bro, off the rip, he's a top 15 quarterback if he can make the playoffs back-to-back seasons.
Yeah, and we'll start with Geno Smith. Big numbers now, obviously, off of that insane year. I'm glad he'd get paid. He deserved it after that season. Actually revived his career, something crazy. But passing yards, 3,825.5, minus 112 both ways. His passing touchdowns, 26.5, minus 108 toward the over, minus 118 toward the under. His interceptions is at 10.5, plus money, plus 108 towards the over, minus 136 towards the under. Now he's coming off a season where he threw for 4,282 yards. Outside of that, the only other year he surpassed 2,500 to get over this number is his rookie year in 2013 with the Jets, where he threw for 3,000 yards. Now it's 3,800. Can you see another 4,000 season from Geno? That's a big number.
Still, to me, number's too small. Dill, give me the over 3,825. Dill, this man went for 4,200 plus last season with DK and Tyler Lockett. Dill, those same 2 players are back, and then you add a great rookie in Jackson. I can pronounce his name, but from the Ohio State. I'm not trying to
JSN. They always say JSN.
Yeah, JSN. So when you add that piece as well with that offense with Kenneth Walker, Dill, I don't see in any way Geno don't even surpass this number, surpasses the number he put up last season at 4,282. Dill, let's just be honest, Dill. I think the offense is gonna be better. I think the wide receiver core is better than what it is last season. So, Dill, I like Geno, like I said earlier, Dill. I don't see him making a major step back, Dill. I think Geno Smith is gonna stay level, maybe not be as good as he was last season, but Dill, I still think he's gonna be pretty damn good, Dill. So give me Geno over 3,825. Dill. I think this number is too low.
Yeah, I like the over in his passing yards, excuse me. I think he could go throw for 4,000 yards, like you said. And not just the 3 receivers that are really good. They also have Noah Fant, who's actually an underrated tight end, I would argue.
And they got him for penny on the dollars with Russell Wilson.
Exactly. So okay offensive line, but we've seen Geno, he threw for 30 touchdowns last season. I understand where people are saying regression is coming, and he also has the ability to run the ball. But I think with this offense, they're not going to run the ball as much as they did last season, I would argue. I think they're going to throw the ball, especially in the red zone where they lack. So I'm going to go over his passing yards. I would stay away from his interceptions. I think he would go under. I think he's going to take care of the ball a little more. And I would go over his touchdowns as well at 26.5. I know it's the line's the other way towards the under, and I know Joe's making a good point. He does run the ball, but I'm gonna go over his passing yards and touchdowns. Stay away from his interceptions at 10.5. But no Kenneth Walker props up right now. Like I said, he's a little banged up. He might not be ready for week 1.
I think he will be, Dill, but it's just what number to put on it if he's not. So I understand why the numbers ain't out, Dill, but come on now. Got to give something for the people.
And what was I gonna say? Don't be surprised if this guy Zach Chartenbaum might get a lot of touches instead of Kenneth Walker. I think he's gonna be a very sneaky late round pick in the league this season for fantasy and just for the Seahawks in general. But we'll start with the receivers. We'll start with DK. DK, his receiving yards 925.5 minus 112 both ways. His receptions is at 73.5 minus 112 both ways, and his receiving touchdowns is, I think, a short 7.5 minus 130 towards the over, plus 102 towards the under. Elvis, DK first. What do you like for him?
Still, I like the over deal, but let's take it up a notch. Still, give me DK Metcalf 1,000+ yard season at plus 135. Still, he's a 1,000-yard receiver all day long. Still. I understand it was at 925.5. Give me the over is that as well, but give me DK to get over 1,000 at plus 135 deal. That's my favorite play for Metcalf.
Real quick, I wanted to address Joe leading the league in rushing. I don't think so. I'm looking at the list right now. In 2022, Seahawks rushed for two.
Last year, the Eagles led the league in rushing. In the year before that, I think it was the 49ers maybe. With Elijah Mitch with committee.
From committee, I'm seeing that the 49ers they had the best rushing team. This is from NFL.com. This is from 2022. So I see them. They had over 2,000 rushing yards on 500 carries. They rushed on average for 4.8 yards per game. Even the Bears rushed for over 3,000 yards as a team.
Justin Fields.
That's Justin Jefferson. But I'm telling you that's one of his things. So actually, the Seahawks were in the bottom 5 of rushing, but that's neither here or there. I do think the Seahawks will rush the ball, especially in the red zone. They drafted the running back for a reason. Wasn't saying anything negative about them rushing the ball. I just think that they're going to pass it. They have 3 receivers for a reason. For DK, I agree. I think, DK, he's a 1,000-yard receiver. I know his rookie season, he had 900, but he's gone over that in 3 straight games. I'm actually surprised it wasn't closer to like maybe 975, maybe close to 1,000. So, yeah, I got to go over DK. He's going to be a 1,000-yard receiver. Now, his receptions is at 73.5. I think that's too low. His second season in 2020, he had 83 catches. 2021, he had 75. And these are with guys like Drew Lock. Let's not forget. Now he actually has an above-average quarterback. He had 90 catches last season, 75 in 2021, 83 in 2020. I got to go over his receptions as well. And his receiving touchdowns is at 7.5. I got to go over that as well. I know they added JSN, but he's gone over this in 2 of the 4 years. He's gone over this in 2020. He had 10. He had 12 in 21. He had 6 last season, but I think he gets in this season. So I'm very high on DK. I'm going to go over everything for DK. Now, Tyler Lockett is very interesting. His receiving yards, 875.5. His receptions, 68.5. And his touchdowns is at 5.5. I'll start. This is way too short. 875. Now, I would make the argument. Now, call me crazy. This might be a hot take. I think Tyler Lockett has more of a take on the Hall of Fame than Cooper Kupp. Just based on his numbers and what he's done. Look at the numbers. It's not
a hot take just because, bro, he put up a lot of great playoff moments as well.
Yes, that's the thing. And he also has a Super Bowl. Yes, I know he didn't have the historic year. He doesn't have a Super Bowl MVP, but he's a very underrated wide receiver number 2.
Plain simple. Who's the better player? Cooper Kupp. Who has the better career at this point? Tyler Lockett.
Yeah, absolutely. But who's to say in about 3 or 4 years he won't surpass that? Yeah. I think he has the talent, but Tyler Lockett, he's a 1,000-yard receiver in 4 straight years. Ever since 2019, he just catches over 80 balls, over 1,000 yards, and he just goes under the radar every season because they have DK Metcalf. But I gotta go over his receiving yards. 875 is so disrespectful. His reception 68.5. He's gone over this in 4 straight seasons as well. Ever since 2019, he's been a baller. Now his receiving touchdowns is at 5.5. He's gone over this in 6 straight years. So I'd probably have to go over that as well. I just like older receivers. I think they're going to air it out like they did last season. If I'm over on Geno, I have to be over on the receivers as well. What do you like for Tyler Lockett?
Dill, can't disagree with anything you said, but the one play I do love, Dill, when I say love, I really do love it, Dill. Like you said, last 4 seasons, this man has went over this number in receptions, Tyler Lockett. The fact that at 68.5 to me is disrespectful. 4 straight seasons he went over this number. 3 out of the last 4 seasons, it was by double digits. Still, give me Tyler Lockett over 68.5 receptions. I understand they added a new wide receiver. I understand they added DK Metcalf. But Tyler Lockett is the guy that moves the first down goal. He's the one. He's the possession receiver. DK is the one that's going to hit for the 20, 30, 40-yard plays. My man Tyler's the one that's going to catch it, move the needle. 8 yards here, 12 yards there, 4 yards here, 15 yards there. So give me Tyler Lockett over 68.5 receptions. And I'm going to be honest, I also like his over receiving yards as well. The only reason I didn't bet is just because, they got so much firepower offensively with Metcalf, JSN, and Tyler Lockett. But I still think he's the first down wide receiver. They'll give me Lockett over 68.5 receptions.
And he's always that player that hits those long, streaky routes sometimes. Whether it was Russ, whether Sherlock, whether it was, they're going to find Tyler Lockett. No. So all the eyes are going to be on DK when they shouldn't be, because Tyler Lockett could destroy you. And so could Jackson Smith and Jugba as well. So I was looking for his props because I want to hammer him as well. I think all. But
yeah. Didn't he break like his finger?
Yeah, but he had surgery already, and he might be clear to play week 1. I drafted him. Like, that's how high I am on him, to be honest.
No, I think he's going to be good, though. It's just, three good wide receivers.
There's a lot of mouths to feed. No, I agree. Yeah, there's a lot of mouths to feed. But, Elvis, we are 2 teams away from finishing our second straight 2 days. We got the 49ers, one of the best teams in the NFC, and we have the Arizona Cardinals, which
arguably the worst.
Arguably the worst, yeah. So we got a little of both for you. But last play before I let you go, I am big game tonight in the W. Liberty taking on the Vegas Aces in New York. I was really wanting to go. It's the rubber match. They both won by double digits on their respected floors. I'm going to be contrarian here. Give me the Las Vegas Aces. They're actually underdogs. They started at 2-point underdogs, and the line flipped. Now Liberty are the favorite. First time all season the Aces are underdogs. I get it. I get the line. They've been playing better basketballs of late, the New York Liberty, but Asia Wilson is just a dog. They can't guard her. I think she scores 20-30 in New York. And, hey, they're only a game and a half out that one seed. The New York Liberty are fighting for that 1 seed. So they got something to play for. So I'm going to take the Vegas Aces on the money line at even money. And that's my last play of the day. But Elvis, any last words before we get up out of here, kid?
Today's my niece, my baby girl's Laya birthday. So happy 6th birthday to my niece, Laya. I know she probably won't hear this, but maybe one day in the future I could play it back for her and tell her, look, Theo been loving you all these years, girl. So happy birthday, Elia.
Absolutely. Happy birthday to her. Shout out her. Hey, shout out you, Elvis. Happy birthday. Tomorrow is your birthday. I knew you wanted to put it under the rug. Humble guy you are, but how old are you going to be? I know people don't like to talk about their age.
About to be 28. Your boy about to hit the 3-0. But 2 years from the big 30, 28, I still feel good. Still look young. I still get ID'd. I just got ID'd for a bottle. So, it is what it is.
I love it. Yeah, you got that baby face, but that's good because when you're older, you look younger than what you really are. But shout out you guys. Happy birthday to everyone. That's going to do it for this Monday edition of the Dream Wager on behalf of our sponsor, Viva Tequila. Elvis, myself, everyone in the chat. We'll see you guys in a few days. So follow along our social media, Twitter and Instagram at the Dream Wager. You can find all of our podcasts wherever you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher. We're live every Monday and Saturday. Next week, we'll go back to 3 days, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. But for right now, just Monday and Saturdays, youtube.com/The Dream Wager. Subscribe, rate, give us a review. All that good stuff really helps the show grow tremendously. So be a friend, tell a friend, everyone. Have a great few days. Good luck on your wagers. Be safe, be well, and we'll see you guys down the road. Peace.